Honorable Chief Justice, Delhi High Court, the other honorable judges, members from the bar, officials, and everybody else present here. I can now confidently say that if you dream something big, it does become a reality. 10 years down the line, when I started my career as a corporate lawyer and as a person with blindness, it was difficult for us to navigate through websites, cause list, court orders, or the responses that we used to get from other lawyers. And I wanted to change, and I always thought myself that if I'm in this profession and if we can't bring these things, then what's the point of me being here? I'm grateful and I'm glad that we found receptive judges like Justice Rajiv Shattar, people like Abhilash sir, S.K. Arora sir, and many others with whose support and under whose guidance we are able to make meaningful changes. I'll just quickly address what was the problem in the cause list that we tried to solve, and just to give a sense of how simple it was. We just needed the right leadership support. Before this accessible cause list, what we used to see was a chunk of text. All items clubbed together, all case numbers, all parties' names clubbed together. So imagine in the same line, you may have item number 1, 2, 3, and if you want to find out a particular item, it was difficult because it was time consuming, even though we were able to read at speed. What we requested the Lordship was that instead of presenting the PDF cause list as chunk of text, we display them in a tabular form so that we can navigate with our software through columns and rows, which makes the life much more easier and faster. With the announcement of Accessibility Committee, there are a few things that I'd like to lay out, which our lordships can consider, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to make that a reality in coming future. The very first and priority item should be a standard operating procedure on request for accessible documents and accessibility of court proceedings wherever there is a person with disability who's coming in capacity either as a litigant, as an advocate, or as a judge, or as a court staff. So when, let's say if I'm in a matter and I want documents to be accessible so that I can read and I can deliver a quality output, I should be able to request the lordships and the court that the practice directions be amended and the SOP be implemented so that the same request can be placed. The second and important aspect of this is the disability rights have been, we've been able to realize the disability rights because of the judicial activism, because of the sensitiveness of judges. And there are many cases which are pending for a long time. While we understand the burden that the courts are going through, but it would definitely help if we have disability rights as one of the specific components in the roster so that disability rights cases can be taken up through specific benches and they can be tracked and disposed of in a seamless manner. Third, we should also be able to request for passes for our assistance or human aid, as well as we should be able to request for assistance when we want to visit the court. And if we don't have a human assistance in hand, we should be able to fill a form on the website such that the court can be notified in advance and that request can be fulfilled. Fourth, in the parking lots, a sticker, a reserved space for persons with disabilities to be able to park their vehicles, as well as a sticker to identify that the vehicle belongs to a person with disability. Fifth, high quality legal aid to people with disabilities. The issues of people with disabilities around accessibility are very, very critical, and accessibility provides us right of dignified survival. To realize that, we need to be able to get quality legal aid so that the cases are appropriately presented and appropriately right judgments are delivered. I think these are some of my thoughts and some of the items where I see that the accessibility committee should be working and along with support from all the judges of the High Court and all other district courts, we should be able to replicate the same changes and make sure that justice is not denied for lack of accessibility. I once again thank you and for the support that we received, and quite hopeful for a very promising future. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.